I've always had a very alternative living oriented life. The van we're in right now is actually the 4th van that I've built. Because this van was more of an art project to me, I just went all out. So I pulled tons of inspiration from Spanish and Mediterranean architecture. It was like honestly ridiculously hard from a building perspective, but I just like followed the vision and sent it, and I love how it came out. Hey, I'm Abby, and this is my van Luna. Hi, welcome to my van. Come on in. Right in front of the doorway, we have our sitting, eating, and lounge area. So this table right here, it moves around in every direction you can imagine. But there's actually more to this seating area than you can see. So underneath here, there's a slatted system. So these actually pull out and this whole area converts into a second bed. It was really important for me to have a comfortable seating area, and I love having it right here because whether you have your door open or closed, you have a really cool view and you feel like you're really immersed in your environment. Right when you step in, you have 2 little cubbies right here, and my thought with these is it's a great place to store shoes or a broom or just stuff that's wet that you don't really want inside of your main living space. So right behind me here, we have a pocket door to close off the front. And this was something I absolutely needed to have in my van build. In the past, I've never had a door here. I've kept it wide open. But with the pocket door, you get so much easy privacy. You can just close it at the end of the night. No one can see anything. The unintended perks of having the pocket door are that it really insulates the backspace because most of the heat is coming in through the dash, but because I close that off, the heat stays up front. And then the other added benefit is when I'm driving, I literally can't hear anything in the back. I feel like I'm just in a car, which is so nice for anyone who's ever experienced driving a van before. Above the cab, I have a huge storage space for backpacks, blankets, anything that you need easily access, but you just want to throw someplace and forget about. One of the most jaw-dropping features that you can see from the doorway is this awesome shower right here. And I think what makes it so appealing is that it actually is real tile. This tile I hand selected from a boutique tile store. It is a handmade Spanish tile. And then to complement it, I have these stone pebbles on the floor and inside of the little niche right here. And since everything's on tone and it's just so textured, it just has this really cool effect. I also incorporated these brass features throughout the build. It just complements that Spanish feel to the space. I get a lot of questions about this toilet. This is a Laveo dry flush toilet. Basically, there's a cartridge that is full of about 20 bags, and every time you use the toilet, you push this button right here. It seals the waste and twists it, suctions it down, so you just flush it down into a bag. There's no chemicals, no odor, no water. When the cartridge is empty, everything folds into a discrete bag and you can just throw it away. Now, a lot of people like to laugh that, oh, you can sit on the toilet while you're taking a shower. But I never have actually done that in my life. That's not how it was designed. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but actually what I do is I just lift the toilet out here, step in the shower, and now I have tons of standing room. The door that I have is the Nautilus self-cleaning door. It actually just rolls up into itself. Really lightweight, easy, simple, and I have it in the bone color to complement the tile. Right above me here, we have a staple of any van build, and that is a Max Air fan. This fan just really pumps air through the space. I have 2 rear windows that when they're open with this fan on just allows for a really nice cross breeze. So it doesn't get too muggy, doesn't get too hot in here, and it draws hardly any power. So if you don't want to put the air conditioning on, this will pretty much keep you cool during the day. So right next to the shower, we have a full floor to ceiling closet, which I was so happy to be able to fit into a van. It's so nice to have actual pull-out drawers to store stuff. Up here, I have some food, some cleaning stuff, and just miscellaneous. And then this is where I keep most of my clothes that I need to access easily. Let's jump into the kitchen. In the kitchen here, we have everything you could possibly need. So right here, this is where I cook for the most part. It's an induction stove, so it only gets hot when you have a pan on it. Great safety feature. It runs off 120 volt electricity, and it's surprisingly super efficient. I cook 3 to 4 times a day, and I never have any issues with power consumption. Right underneath it, I have a 12 volt refrigerator by Benabed. It's 160 liters and it has 2 zones, a freezer up top and a fridge down below. I never run out of space. I've had 2 people living in here full time and we've had plenty of room. This is my main control panel. This is where I have a lot of the tech integrations. I have my air conditioning switch. I have the Serbo, which is the electronic control. It monitors your solar, your alternator charging, and your battery level, as well as a multitude of other high-tech features. I also have this timer switch for my water heater. It's an electric water heater. That really uses a lot of electricity, so you don't want to forget to turn it off. So I'll typically just turn it up to 10 minutes or so. The water heater will kick on, and it'll count down and shut off after 10. Incorporating an air conditioning into a van was a first for me. Because I was so all in on this van, I decided to go hard or go home. I chose the best air conditioner I could possibly get my hands on, which is the Cruise and Comfort. I think it's 10,000 BTU air conditioner. It's a 3-component system. There is a compressor, a condenser, and an evaporator. And most of the components are mounted right in this dead space underneath the kitchen. So behind the sink, I have this really unique accent, and this was actually an afterthought, kind of. I knew I wanted to put something here, but I didn't know what it was until all the rest of the van build was done. But then I realized, like, oh, let me just replicate from these circles over here. And then this is the same tile that's on the shower floor. So that just really adds to the cohesion of the space. The white oak with the rounded, sort of organic, flowy element to it, and the built-in LED light strip. I think this piece right here just takes other elements that are already in the build. It's just cohesion at its finest. So right here is the sink, and this was sort of a bold risk I took in the build, was taking this Moroccan plaster and rolling it down into the sink. I've never seen anybody use this material at all before, never mind actually build a sink out of it, but it's 100% waterproof, so I took the risk, and it's actually held up fantastic. Like, it functions just like a normal sink would. Right here I have my fixtures. So this one is a pull down. This is the main sink faucet. It has hot and cold, and then this is my filtered drinking water. There's a 2-stage filter under the sink, and if you want to fill up a water bottle or a cup to drink the water, you can just use this one. This is pretty much where I store a lot of my food and supplements. Right down the center of the alleyway, we have this main aesthetic element of the van build. Initially, it was actually going to cover the whole thing and not have it visible unless you open a cabinet, but like, I'm so glad I left it exposed because I think it's one of the most unique elements of the whole build. This is actually an air fryer, convection oven, toaster combo. So it does everything you can need to heat up food, aside from being a microwave. You gotta give and take sometimes, but I think it's so cute. So you see this teal throughout the build with the cushions, the toilet, and then this brass right here is seen repeated throughout the faucets and the shower faucet. And then this is sort of a hidden aspect of the build. I built in a little pantry into the back of this bench here. So up here I have my silverware, then some canned goods and whatever else. I literally have so much food storage in this van that I have too much space. I don't even end up using it, but I really like that. I think it's pretty snazzy. These drawers also pull out. I wanted to utilize every inch of space, And this was really a major building feat. I had to kerf the wood to round it right there, which I've never done before, but I figured it out. And just again, adding that round right here helps a lot. So when you're climbing up into bed, you don't like hit your hip on something. It's just comfortable and invites you in. With these stairs, I didn't want to waste the space, so of course I built storage into them. So this top drawer slides out and opens up. This second compartment is actually a little laundry hamper, so it's empty right now, but I typically put all of my dirty clothes in there, and that is such an amazing feature that is often overlooked in a van. Love that hamper. Awesome. And then also this bottom cabinet pulls out too. That pretty much completes the kitchen, so let's check out the bed. Right now I'm sitting on my bed. This is a queen bed, side to side, a little bit shorter. I really like this style of bed because you get tons of storage space underneath. Like literally almost the entire underneath of the bed is open, so I can stick stuff in there that I don't need to use often, or heavy duty outdoor stuff like my bike or my one wheel. It's also where the electrical and plumbing is housed. I love this bed for a number of reasons, but another one is that it's just a really comfy, fixed place that I can just nestle up into at the end of the day. Right above the bed, I have this skylight, and I actually never intended to put a skylight, but I had no choice. Because when I purchased the van, there was a factory air conditioning unit there that only runs when the van is on, and I knew I wouldn't need it because I added an auxiliary air conditioning system. So I removed the unit, and then there was just a giant hole in my roof. And none of the skylights on the market were big enough to fill that hole. So I had to actually DIY my own skylight. So that's a piece of tempered glass that I bought on Amazon. 1/2-inch tempered glass held down with Sikaflex. And you can actually stand on it. It's so strong. I can go up there and you can see my feet from the bottom. It's clear, it's beautiful, it adds to that organic feel of the space, and it filled the hole in my ceiling. The ceiling of this van is quite different. I knew that the ceiling was a blank canvas. A lot of vans use like shiplap or wood planks, and to me that's just like totally outdated and kind of farmhouse and not modern and not really interesting. So I was brainstorming on like, how can I make the ceiling really beautiful and eye-catching, but not too much. And just browsing the Spanish style, Mediterranean type, I like started seeing this recurring element that a lot of the spaces use where they like backlight curves. And I just like honestly just meditated on it and would like shut my eyes and like just try to like think about like how I could incorporate that into the space. And like, I remember when I thought of this, I literally got chills in my whole body. I was like, I need to do that. And I had no idea how I was actually going to pull it off because it was like honestly ridiculously hard from a building perspective. But I just like followed the vision and sent it, and I love how it came out. This is mostly just where I put clothes. This one even opens too. So it's all strutted. Just great storage. Not much more to say about it. Behind me here we have a speaker, and this is a Bose soundbar, really good sound. And this is a projector screen. So I actually have a projector that'll sit right on this nook and point back. That screen also flips around, so if you wanted to sit out back and move the projector outside, you could have a little movie night. This is just a great modular solution as opposed to having a TV in a van space, which just takes up so much room. It's heavy, it's bulky. I prefer this. Next, we're gonna head out back to check out the outdoor storage. Welcome to the back of my van. We have a couple of things going on back here. This is my ladder and spare tire carrier. This right here is an outdoor storage box. I have like a little portable fireplace, bags of pellets that I would store in here. Underneath my bed in the back of my van, we have tons of storage as well as the electrical and plumbing portion. Some things are in construction, but I have a full bin back here. Could probably fit 2 to 3 of these in here. I also will fit 2 full bikes in here. In the back, we have my water tank, which is 42 gallons of fresh water. And underneath the van, we have a 30-gallon gray water tank. Over here, we have my electrical system, which powers everything inside of the van. It is 600 amp hours of lithium-ion battery capacity, and that is charged from 400 watts of solar on the roof. It's a DC-DC charger, so whenever the van is running, it's sending current and it's charging these back batteries back here. There's also a Victron 3000 watt inverter mounted back there. So it's really all high-tech stuff. This is a really adequate system for my needs. I never really run out of power, and I'm running a lot of appliances up there. I've always had a very alternative living oriented life. I grew up in my family's campground in Stafford, Connecticut, and from a very young age, I've been building campers and designing spaces and renovating. When I wanted to leave Connecticut, I knew that I could find a creative solution to do it, and that's when I bought my first van to renovate and travel the country. The van we're in right now is actually the 4th van that I've built. I decided to get into Sprinter vans specifically because they're tall enough that you can stand up in them, and they're just really comfortable to drive. About 2 years ago, I started doing social media. I had the feeling that if I undertook a super bold project, that it would propel my career forward, and that's what gave me the idea to build this giant yellow Sprinter van. And hand in hand with that, I wanted to create a really crazy unconventional design on the inside, something that nobody had really seen before. So I pulled tons of inspiration from Spanish and Mediterranean architecture to like really create this special feeling to it. Every single detail had a lot of intention behind it, and because of that, the project ended up taking me a very, very long time, but the result was pretty crazy. The van we're in is about 5 feet by 14 feet, and I invested around 120 to 140,000 into this build. Because this van was more of an art project to me, I just went all out and I didn't really care. I just bought what I wanted. I would change the color 5 times if I felt the need to do it, and I don't regret anything. Going tiny initially opened up a whole new side of life that I never knew existed. It allowed me to leave my small town and adventure and see the entire country. I've been to 48 states. Just really see what's out there, find myself, find my people. This van opened up a world of opportunities for me. It not only showed me what I'm really capable of when I dig deep, but the response I got from the world just invited so many different avenues to venture down. But for me, it's just a phase of life thing. So I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I'd like to stay in the design space because that's what I'm good at and what I love. I think I'll probably design another tiny space next. I'm not sure it'll be a van. It might be a house or a tiny house, or who knows. But I like this area, and it's where my gift is.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another unique home tour.